Hey guys, a quick product review here for you. Right now I'm taking a look at the Ramcat Broadhead line. I've been shooting them this year, new, and I've been really impressed so far. I have a few guys that come in the shop that shoot them, and they've got nothing but good things to say about them. Right here is a Ramcat Hydra Shock. Ramcat's real claim to fame in their #1 design feature that really benefits these arrows and broadheads is this concave scoop design. This concave scoop creates an airfoil effect, right? And as there are arrows traveling through the air, this airfoil effect is created and eliminates the possibility of the broadhead blades to get any traction or be able to steer these arrows at all. So they're extremely accurate. They call them field point accurate, and I've done tests with them without any real tuning being done to the bow. They do fly extremely true. In fact, the first time I ever shot them, I shot these first, shot my field point, and I actually shot the broadhead through the target with my follow-up arrow at 30 yards. So I won't do that again, but it was clear to me that they're true to what they say. For penetration, this hydrofoil effect comes into play. So you get an airfoil effect through the air, or when you're passing through a liquid like a body mass, you get now a hydrofoil effect. And the same thing, when passing through a body mass, this concave scoop design creates a hydrofoil effect, opening up a wound channel and eliminating any increased resistance as the arrow passes through for a deeper penetrating arrow. The next design feature that I really like about this is the back cut design. So in some states, this would be considered a barbed broadhead and will be illegal if they weren't allowed to rotate forward. So with this broadhead, once you make contact, you shoot through an animal, say you don't get a complete pass through. Well, what will happen is while this thing's working around inside, if for some reason the end of the arrow, say, got caught on a branch, or the deer reached back, grabbed and pulled it out, these blades will actually flip forward. I'll try to do that without cutting myself. And they will cut on the way out as well. They are double-edged on the back side. And when they flip, it's like passing through another broadhead going the opposite direction. And it's great. The design idea is pretty unique among broadheads. I don't really know of any others that do that. So they cut one way and they will cut the opposite direction and do damage if that broadhead is just hanging out inside a cavity doing all kinds of crazy stuff in there. I really like that design. The same is true with their fixed blades. Their fixed blades as well have that back cut technology, so they don't flip forward. As you can see, it's just solid, but if they're getting pulled on, they will do cutting going in reverse direction as well. They are a single beveled edge. Some guys like that. They basically believe it creates less cutting resistance and a much sharper edge in the end. They do have replacement practice tips. You can take these little set screws out, remove the blades, and replace them with these dull practice blades, which are really convenient, just so you don't have to, dull up a nice set of blades, which you can also purchase separately as well. So that's it basically for these two. So Ramcat does offer a mechanical option. Their newest one is called the Cage Ripper. It's a plunger-driven broadhead. They have their patented scoop design here that creates that airfoil effect and also deeper penetration. In the field, there's no O-rings, no shock collars, nothing to worry about having to replace if you accidentally pull one of the blades open. So you caught a twig, the blade opens up, now you get to unscrew your broadhead and reset the shock collar or the O-rings. You just simply push it back in place. It's now locked back in place. It's not going to open up. The way they operate, when you impact an animal or whatever target you're shooting at, the plunger depresses, flipping those blades wide open. Now they're locked open. They cannot shut after this. It's a 2-inch wide cutting diameter. Extremely large, extremely sharp, and very easy to actually set back in place. Say you accidentally bump that into your quiver. That's probably one of the downsides to any type of broadhead like this. You put them in your quiver and they pop open. So that little pin right here, you slide it back, close the blades, and boom, it's now locked again. An independent study by the University of Kansas actually compared the penetration on these versus Rage Trypan, Rage Chisel Tips, Rage Hypodermics, and Muzzy Trocars, and the independent study has shown that these actually do penetrate deeper than your standard Rage or Muzzy Broadhead, which says a lot. I mean, they look to me like there's a much bigger surface area. They look bulky, if I'm being perfectly honest. But with that scoop design, the way it creates that hydrofoil effect, it actually creates a deeper penetration for your arrow and creates devastating blood trails with these 2-inch blades. So that's it. That's your basic Ramcat lineup. They do have deep 6 options, 125 grain options. You got your fixed blade Diamondbacks, your Hydro Shock, and your cage rippers. So one more cool feature that I wanted to go over real quick. It doesn't really make a huge difference, but these broadheads don't sit in front of the arrow shaft. The blades actually sit behind. So you can see where it meets your typical broadhead, the blades are out in front. These blades are actually back around the arrow shaft there. And that really helps with that hydrofoil effect and the least amount of resistance created on that arrow shaft after it penetrates something. So there you have it. That's the Ramcat lineup at the moment. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a question in the comments section. And as usual, in the description, you will find a link on where to get these bad boys. I also have them available here in shop. So if you're local to Londonderry, New Hampshire, feel free to drop by, shoot me a message, and we'll get you hooked up. Thanks. Have a good day.